Richard Allen continues our coverage tonight, showing us one of the most deadly threats these people face.
And we are here in Tijuana, where we had the chance to visit one of the many migrant shelters here, getting a first-hand look at why many migrants are forced to flee their own countries and the dangers they face as they hope to enter ours.
¿Le pongo arroz al pequeño?
It's lunchtime at Casa del Migrante.
¿Así está bien? Sí. Provecho.
One of roughly 30 migrant shelters scattered throughout Tijuana. And this is no ordinary day here.
We're celebrating 36 years of service.
Father Pat Murphy is director of Casa del Migrante, which provides food, lodging, and support for as many as 140 migrants seeking asylum in the U.S., including dozens of children.
This is great.
And while the mood is festive, with preparations underway for a party later in the day, the reason these migrants come here in the first place is nothing to celebrate. Many of them fleeing violence and persecution in their home countries, from Honduras and Venezuela to El Salvador and Haiti, even one migrant from Bangladesh.
It's a real challenge because he doesn't speak our language, we don't speak his.
Father Murphy says the largest group of migrants here is actually from Mexico.
Escaping the violence in places like Michoacan and Guerrero. People whose businesses and houses have been taken over by the cartel, and they're told you have 3 days to leave, and if not, we're going to burn your house down.
Cuban-born David Perez Acosta has been staying here at Casa del Migrante for the past 3 weeks.
They just have nothing but great hopes of getting to the other side.
While David is not seeking asylum himself, he's familiar with the stories of the other residents here, pointing to the desperation they face in fleeing their homelands.
I think the word desperate right about now is an understatement. I think for them it's a matter of life and death right now.
These families just want a better life.
Well, that's the only thing they're here for. Nobody wants to immigrate for fun. It's for survival.
And with Title 42, which allowed U.S. border officials to automatically turn back migrants, now ending, Father Murphy expects more and more migrants to continue to come to Tijuana, hoping to cross over to the U.S. and claim asylum. But these migrants also face another threat: human smugglers offering to transport them illegally into the U.S. for thousands of dollars, often their life savings.
For sure, more people will come to Tijuana. And the coyotes, the smugglers, will just keep giving misinformation.
Father Murphy points out that whenever there's significant change in border policy, like right now, human smugglers take advantage of the confusion, preying on migrants desperate for a way into the United States and exploiting them for their own profit.
It's amazing what they can do with confusion.
They have zero regard for life.
Supervisory Border Patrol agent Daniel Anderson tells CBS 8 that they've seen a spike in human smuggling attempts in recent months. In January, for instance, Customs and Border officers at the Brownfield Border Patrol station stopped a dozen vehicles involved in human smuggling.
12 in one day is much more than we're used to seeing.
An increase that's expected to continue as Title 42 lapses. Agent Anderson stresses that the migrants who place themselves in the hands of smugglers often face unknown dangers.
They don't care about the humans and the lives that they're smuggling. They're in it for the money. The people they smuggle are just a commodity to them, no different than vegetables or drugs. They're just moving people for a profit.
In June, 51 migrants died in the worst known human smuggling operation on U.S. soil. Their bodies recovered in the trailer of an 18-wheeler on the outskirts of San Antonio. Some migrant rights advocates say that in some cases, those who are smuggled end up in forced labor or sex trafficking to pay off their debts to the smugglers.
A lot of times we don't know what happens to the people. They kind of disappear.
Under federal immigration law, migrants caught coming into the U.S. without documentation, through a smuggler or not, will be removed, barred from legal re-entry for at least 5 years, and could face prosecution.
This is something that you do not want to take a chance with. Do not.
And Customs and Border Protection officials encourage anyone who wants to enter the United States to use the ports of entry, emphasizing that they are both legal and safe. In Tijuana, Richard Allen, CBS 8.
Thank you, Richard. Now